Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your big homie, the armchair operator, and today we are going to take a look at a gun that really doesn't need a lengthy introduction. So this time we are going to look at the newest iteration of Beretta's venerable M9 handgun series. We're going to take a look at the Beretta M9A4. Now, really quick, the Beretta it's my personal favorite full-size handgun, period. I actually own two. I own an older M92 FS that I've had, oh gosh, I've had that thing for years. It's actually the third handgun I ever bought, and it's actually the oldest of the guns that I currently own now. And now I have this newest iteration, the actual M9A4. So let's take a look at that. There are some differences between, you know, the M9 series and just a standard Beretta 92, and they're not just purely cosmetic. But right now we're just going to focus on getting into the M9A4. This gun has actually been out for a little bit, but I haven't really touched on it, so I'm really excited to just, you know, to share my take with you guys on the Beretta M9A4, show it in action a little bit, and just give you my overall thoughts and opinion on it so far. So with all of that out of the way, let's dive into this thing, shall we? All right, y'all, here we are. We have the Beretta M9A4, and it comes in a really nice box. As you can see, 500 years. Beretta has been in the game a long time. And if I'm not mistaken, they are the oldest firearms manufacturer in the world. So we just have just a simple cardboard box here, you know, a little target and all that. But what's really interesting is what's inside this box. So let's open this guy up. And let's get the box out of the way, shall we? Let's. So, look at this. This is the actual case that it comes in. And it's really nice. It's actually like a nice little ammo can for all intents and purposes, right? You know, nice hard plastic. Definitely kudos to Beretta for giving us such a very nice carrying case here. This is actually really good. You could just carry this thing, carry this to the range if you wanted to. And plus you have your pre-drilled holes if you want to lock it down with a padlock, right? But anyway, enough about that. Let's open the case up to see what we have on the inside. So here we go, the Beretta M9A4. So this particular SKU, let me just get this out of the way. This particular SKU is the 15-round mag version. It comes with 3 of them. As you can see, there's 1 here and there's 2 in the gun. But first thing we need to do is verify that the gun is clear. And as you can see, the gun is clear. The magazine is empty. Drop the mag, and there we go. And there you have that. So let's continue. Oh, by the way, this is being filmed in a safe, controlled environment. Just wanted to point that out there. So, as usual, when I like to talk about the features of the gun, I like to start from the top, and therefore we must start with the sights. So as you can see, these are the sights for the Beretta M9A4. Let's slide this out of the way, because this box is actually really big, so I want you guys to be able to see what I'm talking about here. So here are the sights. We have 3-dot sights, 3-dot night sights to be more precise. And that's what the sight picture is going to look like. Don't know if the camera could pick that up, but that's basically what you will see. And you have tritium filled front sight in front, and then tritium filled sights in, dots in the rear. So I really like the sights on this gun. They really show up very well in low light, no light situations. So that's really cool. As you can see, the gun is cut for your optic. Unfortunately, you do not get the plates with the gun from the factory. You will have to go to Beretta and get the plates on your own. Would have been nice to have the optics plates, but it is what it is. So let's see. Let's talk about the barrel. So we have a 5.1 inch threaded barrel. Let's see what else we got. And as you can see, which is customary with the Beretta, we have this open slide design. So unlike a lot of your other more well-known firearms, like say your Glock series, this particular gun does not have a tilting barrel design. The slide actually reciprocates to the rear, and the barrel itself pretty much stays in place, as you can see. As you can see like that. The advantage of this design is that it's a very flat shooting gun. You know, the reciprocate, you know, that's just a reciprocating mass with the slide. So this gun is known for its accuracy, and that's a reason for that. That's a big reason for that. One of the downsides to this design, you might hear a lot of people say, is that it's easy to get dirt and sand and junk down in here in between the slide and the barrel, which could easily cause a malfunction. So I'm sure that may be a concern, but for the uses that I will probably be using this particular gun, I probably won't encounter that, but some of you just may very well. So just something to keep in mind. But that also being said, this gun has been used by the U.S. military for years, all the way up until the U.S. Armed Forces decided to adopt the SIG M17 and the SIG M18. So this gun is reliable. So if you can carry this thing as a sidearm in the sandy environments of, you know, Afghanistan, Iraq, and so on and so forth, I'm pretty sure most average people won't have an issue with that ever. So just wanted to put that out there. Anyway, moving on from there, we have a 3-position Picatinny rail underneath. We have our takedown lever here. A slide catch / slide release. This is not ambidextrous. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed a spot here. So of course you have your front and rear slide serrations. Doing press checks is very easy. Slide just moves like butter, right? But let's talk about this guy. So if you're familiar with the Beretta 92 series, you know that they have frame, you know, slide mounted safeties, most of them. Which was actually a point of contention for a lot of people, because in racking the slide, it was very easy to put the gun on safe and then you would have a dead trigger. Well, this particular model of the M9A4, this is actually just a decocker. So this will decock the hammer. This is not the safety. So this is actually really good. So because you could accidentally, you know, hit this guy some kind of way, and the gun won't be on safe. It'll just decock the hammer. So this will put it back into its double action firing mode as opposed to single action. Of course, the downside to that is it doesn't have a safety. So you can't carry this cocked and locked because, you know, there's no way to put it on safe. This is strictly a decocker with this model. So just be that in, you know, keep that in mind. And of course you have your double action, single action / trigger design. So of course when the hammer's down, you have double action firing mode. When the hammer is back, you have single action firing mode, and so on and so forth. So one thing I also will say about this, even though it's a double action, single action design, the trigger is actually pretty good. And it is noticeably different from my older Beretta M92 FS. And the trigger in this one is slightly lighter in double action. It is lighter in single action, and it has a shorter reset. But it's a really good trigger. Moving on from there. we have our grip module. So that's another interesting change with the M9 series. So one of the things that they did was they took the grip and they actually made it flatter to look more, it looks more like a 1911 style grip. And they achieved this by giving us grip panels. Let's see if I can get those grip panels out. By giving us replacement grip panels. Now, when you get the gun from the factory, these are the panels that come installed. As you can see, they are actually flatter. They are, they have their straighter profile. The advantage of that is that for the shooters with smaller hands, they could get a good purchase on the gun. So that's actually really good that they did that. And what they also did was they offered wraparound grip panels, which is what this one is. So if you have larger hands like me, or if you just favor the more traditional hump in the back strap, which the older Beretta 92 series have, you can put this wraparound grip panel on and use that. And it's actually really simple. You just take, I don't remember the actual size, but you just take a small Allen head, screwdriver or something, and just take these guys out, and replace them as needed. And they actually give you replacement screws and the washers in the box in order to do that. So that's actually really cool. And installation is actually pretty simple. I've actually had this gun for a while, full disclosure. So of course, as you can see, it has been used, and I have the grips that I like installed on there already. But anyway, just know when you get it fresh out of the box, brand new, these are going to be the ones that are installed on the gun by default. But you can change it and put the wraparound grip panel on there if you so desire. So, moving right along from there. Let's talk about the grip texture. So the grip texture is actually pretty good. It's aggressive. It's not too aggressive. It's not M&P aggressive, but it's aggressive enough. It definitely gets the job done. And we have texture all along the entire height of the grip, and also here on the back strap area. And we also have a little bit of texture on the front of the grip as well. So we have a square trigger guard, basic trigger here. We got some texture on the magazine release. It's not ambidextrous, and I don't think you can change the side on this either. So, but anyway, that's the magazine release. And we have our lanyard loop, and so on and so forth. And of course, we have this nice FDE / baby poop brown finish. It's actually one of my favorite finishes, even though I call it baby poop brown, but it really is flat dark earth or coyote brown, tan, whatever. Anyway, that is okay. So let's look at it. So like I said, it comes with 3 15-round magazines. This particular one does, but of course you also have your standard 18-round version that comes with 3 magazines again, and also you have your 10-round versions for your compliant states. Now, one thing that I also really like that Beretta gives us, they gives us additional O-rings. Now, the O-rings, as you can see, are not for the suppressors, but the O-rings actually help to keep the thread protector on and in place. So, it's really easy to just unscrew that guy and screw it back on. But needless to say, you won't have to worry about the thread protector walking off during shooting, because you got these handy O-rings that'll help keep it in check. So that's also really good. So with all of that out of the way, we're essentially what we're going to do, we are going to skip on over, not skip, but we're going to head on over to the range. I'm going to show you how it looks under, as we're operating on the range, give you my thoughts and impressions on that, And then we're just going to hop back on over here to the review space and close things out. Oh, one last thing before we head on over to the range. We're going to talk about maintenance. So maintaining and cleaning the gun is actually really simple. I'm not going to go through the whole process, but basically you just run the slide back, lock it. On this side, there's a little button here for the takedown lever. So you just push up on that, rotate the takedown lever down in the down position, and once it locks, then you just release the side and guide it off the frame. Now, one thing I will say, when you're doing the disassembly of this guy, the spring, the recoil spring, it is not captive. So therefore, if you go to take that spring off, be very careful. It's under spring tension, and you don't want the spring to go flying off to the other side of the room, or God forbid into your eye or something like that. So just keep that in mind. The recoil spring is not captive to the guide rod. Oh, and by the way, in case you were wondering, the guide rod is polymer. So anyway, with that out of the way, let's head on over to the range and see how it handles there. And then we're going to come back out here to the review space, and I'll give you my final thoughts. Before we get started, one thing a long-time Beretta users will remember is that one of the main Achilles heels about the M92 and the M9 service pistols were the magazines. So I got a mixture of both new and older Beretta magazines, so I don't anticipate any problems, but I'm going to let the gun speak for itself. Anyway, enough yet. Yeah, let's do it. So far, so good. No, the slide catch, no lock that. No worries. So far, so good. Let's take a look at this target. Pretty tight overall, both top and bottom. But that's also what I was saying before. The design of the gun is just inherently accurate. Part of the reason for that is the fact that you don't have a tilted barrel design like a lot of your polymer foam guns. And the ergonomics help a lot too. But as you did see, from when I was shooting. And one thing you want to be careful of if you have bigger hands is inadvertently holding down the slide catch, which I did a couple times, as you can see. That's how come there was no lock back. But anyway, we're gonna load up and we're gonna do it again. Might need a fresh target though, but we're gonna do it again. All right, y'all, we loaded up for another round. Got 3 15-round mags charged up. I'm going to use the same target at 5 yards again. This time I'm just going to use the M9A4 mags that came with the gun. But let's go. Top target is a bit chewed up, so we just want to aim for that middle target. Get some. Outstanding. Let's take a look at this one. As you can see, we chewed up that middle target some more. No issues. No issues, no bobbles. Like I said, I didn't anticipate any issues. I already got several hundred rounds through the gun as it is, probably over 1,000 at this point. And we just planking away with the 9mm. So we're gonna load it up. We're gonna go one more time. Alright, y'all, this is the last go round. Got 3 more magazines charged up. Target still at 5 yards. Got a fresh target this time. And one thing real quick, I am noticing that the thread protector is starting to work its way loose under a lot of fire. So I know I said that I didn't really have that issue. I may have said that, I don't really remember, to be honest with you. But it's something to consider. I think that's kind of par for the course with most firearms that have threaded barrels. Anyway, let's get to it. To me, let's take a look at that target. Spot on. As you can see, rapid fire is really less accurate. Either way, all shots hit the moon. All right, go back to the side and close this thing out. Alright, y'all, welcome back to the review space. So I really hope y'all enjoyed the shooting portion of, this particular review. I I really enjoy shooting the Beretta M9A4. Like I said, it's a really accurate gun. It has a really good trigger. It's reliable. You know, I haven't had any issues with this gun, and I have several hundred, probably close to 1,000 rounds put through the gun already. It's really fun. You know, the grip texture really helps to, you know, helps the gun to really bite into your hand so that way you can control that recoil. If I had one complaint about the ergonomics of the gun, really has a lot to do with my support hand thumb. There really isn't a place on the frame of the gun to really, you know, to really rest the thumb. It pretty much either rests on, you know, the side close to the Picatinny rails or close to the takedown lever. So that's like one thing for me. The other thing for me too is I tend to shoot with a thumb's high grip with my dominant shooting hand. With the Beretta, I can't do that, so it's kind of like a mental thing where I gotta remind myself, hey, not to do that, because as that slide comes back, you know, it can easily hit my thumb. You know, the decocker can easily hit my thumb, and that has happened at times. So I just gotta make sure to keep that thumb out of the way, thumbs forward like I'm supposed to, and run the gun that way. So, but for the most part, like I said, it's a really good gun. It's a really fun gun to shoot. I really enjoy it. 10 out of 10 would recommend. That's just not me because I'm a Beretta fanboy, so to speak, the M9 fanboy or whatever, but I really enjoy the gun. It's just that simple. So, but anyway, guys, this is the end of another one. If you've enjoyed this video, please let me know by smashing that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that bell notification to turn on notifications so that way you can be updated whenever I drop new content. And as always, guys, gals, listen, I really appreciate y'all for taking the time to watch these videos, to subscribe, to do all of that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But that's enough of that. I'm gonna turn you loose. Your big homie is out, and I am the armchair operator, and I'm signing off.